So now we're going to show the details of the double leg. First, very important thing is when I do my leading leg, how deep I want to step into him. I need to aim wherever his first leg is, front leg is. If he has another stance, turn around, it will be the same level. So the distance closing the leg is this, my front leg. Okay. So that's it. So here, that's it. I go down and I sit on my heel. When I sit on my heel, I have a back straight, and my knees are touching, and what lifts him is my legs, not my hands. The job of my hands is squeeze his legs when I lift him. Step. When I do step, I need to come down, down, and up. Look up. Lift. Take him down. Very important when you practicing this is for your opponent to stay low, because this is more like when we wrestle, and we have the same level. His shoulder and my head all in the same level. So if you're doing this step, closing the gap step, my head has to go down at the same time. My level change when I do the step, and when my level change, when I sit on my heel, my knee touches, and I look up.
All right, a couple of things there. So were you saying you would sometimes do it even if they're standing this way? You'll do a double leg sometimes?
Yeah. So if your opponent has your mirror stance, this is his leading leg. My leading leg has to stay no less than this. So in the same level. If my step goes further, it's even better for me. But I can't do it when the distance is too far away. So this is a close distance. This is it. Step, sit. You sit on your heel, your knees touch, and then you look up. If your opponent does the square stance, my step should be in between. So it's here, in between. Again, sit. When I sit on my heel, my trailing leg comes up here. You can put it on your knees if you want, or you can put it in here. Lift. So whenever I go and lift him up, I have full control of him here. Both of his legs go on top of here. Okay, so there's no falling to the side. Common mistakes people do. When I come in like this and go to the side, it twists my body. I want him to fall in front of me. Stand up again, same side. Coming in. So when you attack, when you go for the legs, you need to, as you step to close the gap, you need to drop your leg at the same time. What you need to look at is shoulder, knee, and leg is on the same level. When I'm going forward, it's also on the same level. Make sure my legs are not in front of my shoulder. That way I can't get to the legs. He can stop me with his hands. To get to his legs, I need to go down, close, and then look it up. When you look it up, make sure you have back straight. Trailing leg comes up.
Okay. So if you don't drop your level, so let's say I've got my hands here ready, you don't drop your level, what happens?
I got into your, or I run into your hands in your defense.
Whereas when you drop your level, perfect.
Posture, when you get to the leg, your posture should be as straight as possible. And I am as close as possible, that's how I have good posture. With a good posture, you're using only the legs and the hands to lift him. That's it. The hand is just hanging on to the legs. What's lifting him is my leg. Okay? So you can have straight back, but bad posture. When it happens, without closing the gap, I drop straight on my knees. That's when I have bad posture here. Even though my back is straight, but angle, it doesn't allow me to finish the double leg.
So if you have bad posture, you get sprawled on easier?
Yeah. So eliminate this problem, you need to stay closer to your opponent, so close where you comfortably can step in the same line. When you're here, that's it. Step and look up.
So when thinking about posture, I think some people, they learn to keep posture, so they focus on like keeping it like almost vertical throughout, but that's not right either, right? Like shooting like this,
No.
it is going to get me in trouble. And I think from what I can tell, it's the hips coming in underneath. So I can lean forward as long as I
That's right.
follow up underneath.
Yes. Yeah. So with if my posture is high and I'm attacking with the high posture, the area that can be stopped by him is too big. He can stop me here, here, here. But when I am lower here and I'm traveling horizontal, parallel to the ground, the only spot he can stop me is my shoulders, which is much, much harder because all my weight is following my shoulder. Does it make sense? Yeah. If you're going like this is much area I can stop and it's easy for me to stop you. But if it's like this, it's harder for me to stop you. So that's why you need to stay like this, and when you're going in, you're traveling like this.
And then the hips come under.
Yeah, as soon as I hit my shoulder, as soon as my shoulder touch, that's it. You straight away sit down on your heel and then lift him up.
So it's a mistake to sit on your heel before you've made contact with the shoulder.
You won't be able to sit on your heel if you do the step.
Sure.
So if I do the step, I can't sit down on my heel like this. If I sit on my heel, I fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose like I've seen people go like, and I haven't really connected well.
Yeah.
Here as opposed to. Or does that matter? Like does the bump from the shoulder matter?
No, bump is not necessary. No.
No. Okay.
Bump is just an indication when you need to posture up.
Okay.
You're traveling, when you're attacking, you're traveling like this. As soon as you hit his shoulder, his hip, that's when you come up that way. So it's like this.
Which leg are you stepping with? Front leg, right?
Yeah, front leg. Fastest way to get to your opponent is front leg stepping. And this is the driving force from your back leg. Very slow if you go forward with your back leg. It's impossible to get in there, almost. So you can go straight without moving this leg. You can go straight this way, or you can go dropping your level, splitting your stance, and then go, but really fast. Yeah, I just showed you, break it down so you can see it. So it's, when you do a split stance, you go like this. When you're just going, you just go like this. Just going slower than you do a split stance. That's the difference.
Yeah,
so you have to remember that.
When you do the split stance, it gets your center of gravity more in line with the direction you want it. So when I'm here,
yeah,
I'm driving more in line with where I want to go, as opposed to from here, it's a bit more up.
Yeah, yeah, and because the pushing leg, if I'm too high, the pushing leg is not as strong as on this angle. On this angle, I can push more. Yeah. On this angle, I can push, but it's not as fast and strong and powerful as this angle. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you do the split stance. That's it. That's it.
So how do you know, how far away can you be? Or how do you know how close to be that you can actually shoot? So obviously, like, would you shoot from here?
No, because for me to have a good posture, my leading leg has to step right here. If I'm here, look how much distance I need to cover and how not comfortable I am. So for me to cover it faster and it should be in this place, this is the distance I want to shoot from. Whether it will be straight or maybe lower, still the same distance. When he's matching my head and shoulder level, this is the best place when my head is on his shoulder. From head to head, it is possible. You need to do it a bit faster and further the step should be, but this is the best position you want to shoot from, ideal position. So when we are wrestling and your opponent's just keeping the distance, I won't shoot. As long as I feel This is that's it. Then I shoot to the leg.
Just I suppose for like a beginner in particular, would you say there's more difficulty with the hand fight the closer you get? As in, like, it's more likely as you come in to here that you need to be good now at dealing with grips and stuff, which we will cover a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But for, I suppose, like someone just getting into wrestling, would you recommend first just trying to learn without the hand fight and just shooting?
Yes. First, you need to do 1,000 times. 1,000 times you need to practice, ideally, because your opponent will stay in the same level when we wrestle. Ideally, from this stance. I'm close enough, I touch his shoulder, and that's how you go. It's the easiest way to learn this mechanics right. Once you learn the mechanics right, then you will start distance yourself and find yourself which one is the furthest you can go before you attack. The grip, when you shoot for the double leg, it's not like this. You want to get as much of his inside the legs as possible. That's when you have good grip on the hands. That's when you're holding with the wrists. Okay, not with the fingers, but with the wrist, that way.
And would you prefer like here or at the knees or even higher, or what's the best?
Ideally, this is good. If I go for the knees, it's slows down. No, not slows down. It's, you know how it's already like this, my hands?
Yeah.
When I go lower, my hands become like this, especially if you sprawl your leg. You see? I don't have deep grip if I'm grabbing low. But even if you sprawl, if I have this deep, then I still have the leg. Does it make sense?
And how does that compare to connecting your hands?
Connecting my hands,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
But initially, when you shoot for the legs, if you want to connect the hands, straight away grab it.
And that's even higher again.
Yeah.
Under the hips.
Yeah, because you can connect it this way, just go lower, but don't forget, my opponent's sprawling, arch your back. That's it. Even here, you can finish it as long as my hand is in his butt, around his butt area. This hand is really strong grip. So if you can manage, or if you learn how to connect your hands and your hands connected below his butt, cheeks, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good stuff. You can come up with it, you can take him down, you can twist his hips. Very good.
So which of those grips do you prefer? Gripping deep like this or the connected hands?
The connected grips is very strong, stronger than these grips.
But harder to get.
Yeah, harder to get. But it is possible to get. If I close the gap and straight away join this and then squeeze it, then his ability to sprawl is killed. Does it make sense?
Yep.
You need to use it.
Yep.
Once you lock it in, that's it. They can't
Yep.
sprawl anymore.
Yeah.
One of the mistakes people do when they go to the double leg and after the sprawl leg is putting your opponent on your own hand. This direction. Try to avoid this move. And to avoid this move, all you need to do is you need to have good posture, be close to him, and you need to look up that direction with your eyes that way. So when you shoot, that way. That will eliminate this problem. But when you shoot and you're looking downwards this way, sprawl your legs. That's it. And you tend to put your opponent on the button this direction. Try to avoid this one.
So it's usually it's better to drive with your head, take them this way.
Yeah. To finish a double leg, you need to have a good posture, and your head should be moving towards far left, that way.
This is also good from a jiu-jitsu perspective too, because when you land across me, when you take me down and your legs go this way, it's hard for me to get a choke. But if you were, I think it's probably harder for you to put me down this side anyway, but even if you did, there's a real risk that I get a guillotine choke.
The problem when you shoot for the legs, if your hips are on the same level as your shoulder, you tend to go down. You tend to look down, you tend to go down, and that's what you're going to do. So when you shoot, you can go like this, but once you hit the legs, you need to be like this. Your hip should be lower than your shoulders. That way you can look up and look away. So in summary, I close the gap, I sit down on my heel, pick him up,
and taking down.